everybody, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a get ready with me. So, I'm going to apply some concealer. This is from NARS in the color Custard. And I'm going to apply it to my dark circles because they are plentiful. Valentine's Day has always been a holiday that I love regardless of my relationship status. Solely because it involves two things that I deeply love, and that is stuffed animals and chocolate. So I've always been a fan of Valentine's Day, even when I'm single, or especially when I'm single, because you get to devote all that time to yourself. And oftentimes you can just hang out with best friends or treat yourself to some nice stuff, which is generally the route I go. I'm going to be using the Morphe palette, the 35R. I never hear anyone talk about this palette. I keep saying that, but it's so true. But then again, I'm not someone who's like obsessed with Morphe palettes, honestly. I think the quality is okay for something that's mass produced, and for Morphe to just stick their name on it, especially with these giant palettes. But today, because I want something very neutral since I'm going bright on the lips. Ooh, I almost hit my chin. As I was saying, Valentine's Day is something that I don't particularly get down about, especially when I'm single. And I want to say that I've been single for a lot of Valentine's Days. Even when I was in relationships, I think I always had breakups or like on and off again things right when Valentine's Day hit. And the one time that I didn't, we didn't do anything special. So mostly it's just been me with my chocolate, with my beautiful cuddly bears, and having a great time. But being single can be honestly a really good time because you don't have to stress about anything, you don't have to worry about anything. Granted, if you're in a healthy relationship, you shouldn't have to worry or stress to begin with, but as we know, sometimes life doesn't work that way and things aren't that simple. So I always have enjoyed being single when I'm not heartbroken over someone. When you're heartbroken over someone and you're single, that's a different story. That can be a struggle, definitely. But when you're just living life to the fullest on your own, it can be really nice too, because you get to focus on special things. One of my favorite poets is this woman named Yesika. She's an awesome like Hispanic poet, and she did a poem about finding yourself after a relationship. It's really beautiful. I'm gonna link it down below, and because I think she recited it on a video like for BuzzFeed or something, and I absolutely loved it. And I bought her book, her poetry book, because she has two of them I think, and they're really great. And it's a nice poem about that period of time in between relationships where you kind of find yourself again, you're back to doing things you love, and you get to take care of yourself, because sometimes we lose sight of that when you're in a relationship, especially if you're in a relationship that ends up being toxic, because sometimes you don't realize you're in a toxic environment until it's been a while. So that's kind of how I feel in terms of being single on Valentine's Day, and it's really not a big deal. I know a lot of people watching this are like, well, of course it's not a big deal, but I always have a lot of people on my timeline, whether it's Instagram, whether it's Twitter, and they start posting, or Snapchat, they start posting like forever alone things, or kind of like, I could see why it could be annoying to see like couples in love and stuff all the time. But obviously coming from someone who's been through many breakups, because I've been through some really painful ones, but usually by the time Valentine's Day hits, I was sort of fine. Sometimes it just takes a really long time to accept the way things turn out. Really, I would add glitter to this look, like right in the center of the lids, but we're gonna leave it entirely matte right now. So I'm gonna line my lids with the NYX matte liquid liner. I use this every single time. I'm just gonna line my lids really quickly. I'm using the lash primer from Essence, just muting this because it's irrelevant to the video. There are times like this where you just want a good distraction. That's really what it is. If you are heartbroken or if you are sad during such holidays because you're single, or because you're either in a toxic relationship or you just got out of one, or not even a toxic relationship. It could have been something that was very civil. It could have been an amicable breakup, but sometimes even those types of breakups obviously still hurt. It could still be considered a heartbreak because, you know, you could still deeply care about that person. So if that's the case, I always suggest having a good distraction. Usually I recommend just being with people. That's generally what I did. Anytime I was upset at any point in my breakup history, I've always just hung out with people. And it doesn't have to be anything crazy. If anything, I prefer being slightly more of an introvert to just do more mild things, like going to a bookstore or just going to eat out. Food is a beautiful thing, and something I did a lot when I was heartbroken was drink these milkshakes. And I really feel like that's part of the reason why I gained so much weight, like right after, what is it, like 2015. I would go with my friend Anika. She was my childhood best friend from high school, and we would get Belgian chocolate milkshakes all the time at the mall. So that's generally what I stuck to, or going to the movies together. There's nothing like losing yourself in a good movie or a good book. Alright, so now we're going to be doing the lip color. So this is from a company called Caked Makeup. I think they changed their name recently and they're like Half Caked or Half Baked. No, it's not Half Baked. I don't know. I'll put it up here. But this is their lip fondant. So this is in the color Sweet Tooth. I absolutely love this formula. They're like a little small indie brand. And this was from like 2 years ago, I want to say. But I love this stuff. And it's a nice change from a traditional red. This camera makes me look abnormally pale. So I am going to add some blush. I don't know if it's an overcast day or if it's this new camera, but I feel like I look really washed out. Okay, so this is the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you think down below, and I will see you guys very soon with another video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye!